the U was Twitch slowly changing its UI bit by bit to another theme in front of my eyes. Should Starkey be allowed a little treat? Yes. No, he goes in the dungeon. What is the dungeon? Chat, what is don't vote for the dungeon. I don't want to fucking go in the dungeon. Thank you for the little treat, though. But yeah, I realized, because I literally, like, I was like, I don't even know what I wanted to do for stream today. And then I was like going to my Steam downloads to make sure that I was like up to date on all my games. And I remembered, oh yeah, that's right. Powerwash Sim's a thing. It's a game that you can play it. Aren't you already in Papa's basement, or is the dungeon not enough? We have sub-dungeons. Admittedly, the sub-dungeons are usually saved for the people that we send to be consumed by the infinite void. So I was in the grocery store and they play music, right? Buddy Holly. Listen, that's not even a stream meme. That's check DMs. I sent you a funny cat pic. It's gonna be something fucking horrifying, isn't it? Okay, that's actually pretty. It treads the line a little bit, if only just because I looked at that initially and I'm like, that cat is vomiting. No, it's just eating spaghetti. Hold up a moment. I want to be honest with you. As I'm listening to this song, because I didn't know that Dan to Dan Season 2 OP was already uploaded. It's a bit of a step down. They sent me. This is the funny cat thing I got sent from Soirail. So you know that has the board reconnected their coffee? No. What are you planning? Don't do it. Thank you, chat, for overwhelmingly voting for a little treat. I don't know what I would get as a little treat. Maybe more like Powerwash Sim levels, because I need to grab the rest of the packs. I'm planning nothing. All right, hold up a fucking moment. How do I connect? Let me. We're going to studio mode. This is important. Where the do I even? I don't even know where I would have put it, to be honest with you. Alerts? Probably alerts. Throne alert. Mix it up. Treat stream. It's on this fucking. It's on the screen. I actually have no idea where it is in my fucking, like, hold up. Let me check gameplay real quick. Alerts? No, because that's the nested scene. So it gets a murder as a little treat. Welcome on in, Pie Loving Fat Man. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. What? Okay, murder is a little treat. Depends on who I get to murder. The murder instinct is somewhat strong today. If only just because my friends are mad, and therefore I'm mad at the people they're mad at. I'm looking and I'm stalking. And I think I'm dumb, because I don't know where it went. That's treat. I don't think I ever set up coffee alerts. I'm realizing now. Congrats on a little treat. No, not Kofu. Kofu doesn't deserve that. Kofu deserves piss. As is his right and his want. I wish Starkey would murder me. Listen. Okay, the question is, does TFing count as a form of murder? Because it's Ship of Theseus rules, right? Like, are you still the same you if you get like turned into like your persona? It depends. Welcome on in, Jake Bean. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I hate it. Watch it drift slowly across the screen. You fucking mind? Be gone. Welcome on, Taryn. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Is it changed rules? What classifies as changed rules? Welcome on in, Gadget. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Good shout for Gadget. My TF will inherit my debts. Personality-wise, yes. I guess to be fair, that, you know, because some people's sonas behave very differently than they behave in real life. Welcome on in, Ruffles. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Because, like, Starkey as a character, like, Starkey in his lore is definitely very different than me as a person. Do we lose our personality? Like if I went through Starkey's lore, I'd probably, dreadification counts as murder. you know, there's fascinating ethical arguments to be had there. Because it, like, if the, I guess, like, the implication of, like, if you're droned and you're not, like, your previous self isn't deleted but suppressed, is that then hostage taking? Is that what, like, what are the rules here? We need to discuss the ethics, the ethics of being a villain. You're the scientist, you tell me. I mean, like, I guess it would, like, the closest thing we have a law to against it. Presumably, if like, you could actually, like, take someone and, like, forcibly dronify them against their will, that would probably be considered kidnapping. Or at the very least, there'd probably be, like, a new, like, you know, they have to add the fucking, like, new laws to the, you know, the fucking, the UN. Can we talk, like, also, it's like, not everyone could be their persona, because some people's personas are like, oh yeah, my persona is a fucking, like, you know, galaxy destroyer. There's like a solid, like, 1 to 2% of galaxy destroyers in the furry fandom, like, canonically speaking, and that's a far too big of a percent, because that percent needs to be 0 if we want to continue to exist. So do it fast before you get caught. I'm just a silly Borb. I love this song. This song's adorable. But no. They're like, you know, can someone reasonably consent to being droned? I guess it's probably the same, like, you know, there's this, because there was that guy out of Germany who, like, wanted to be eaten alive. What's up, Chris?
So it turns out, I fed the Borb beans. The Geiger counter started freaking out. Your lab is currently on lockdown.
Why would you do that? Why, Chris? Alright, fine. Welcome on in, Shadrach. Good to have you, sweet bean. If people were their sonas, a lot of them would die of heart failure from the body size. Yeah. It's so, like, setting... I feel like in the, like, hypothetical of, like, you become your sona, it needs to be, like, a strictly physiological change and not, like, a logistical one. You're doing better than this past week. How about you? I'm glad you're doing better. I'm doing all right myself. Very, very tired. I made a post about it this morning. I took my ADHD meds, and when I felt them kick in, speaking about sonas, my ref sheet got done today, I haven't actually had a chance to take a look. Bad news, Starkey, check the poll. Should we Uno reverse Starkey and dronify him? Yes, become drone. No, make me drone. Chat. Y'all are a bunch of fucking gremlins. Fucking drone this, drone that, and then the instant you have a fucking opportunity to be like, oh yeah, I actually want to be a drone, it's like, no, let's fuck with Starkey. Also, welcome on Eagle Jalapeno. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Are you power washing Dracula's mansion? This is the Warhammer 50k downloadable content patch. Oh, NPC, your son is so cute. I respect the femboy look. Fuck Starkey, uh-huh. That is not an instruction set. It's fucking... You have to be so specific with the wording these days. It's like the fucking... It's like the idea of the functionally untorturable entity is just someone so sufficiently masochistic that nothing you can do to them they can't perceive as pleasure. You fucking you start dunking him in lava and he's just like, hotter, hotter, burn me more. So I don't want to be a drone nor really wanting to drone others, but better others than me. Fair enough. I don't blame you. How did this become one of my stream bets? I feel like that this one just kind of like happened. That's just. As a reminder, I got you that Songbird game. Yes, that's right. I need to play Songbird at some point on stream. That will probably be what replaces Blueprints after I figure out, because Blueprints is fun. I'm also taking a break from Blueprints because the game is pissing me off. Mr. Libido from Yakuza 7. Is that the guy who's you can summon, who's in the baby suit? Is that Mr. Libido? You're burning in lava sound like Macho Man. Macho Man Randy Savage desires naught but the death by extremely hot molten stone. Oh my god, is it Songbird Symphony? But yeah, no. Why? I hate the fact it's 100%. Y'all are gonna be sent to the fucking the gulag. So help me. Starkey, it for sure was you talking about goo on people. Goo and latex, someone related, you know? Okay, fair point. Fair enough. That'll do it. Fucking goo is like, it is the epicenter of all of my like, all of my like, you know, stream bits, apparently. No, I think that's Mr. Gondawara. I think it's his name. Because like I acknowledge I'm goo, and then suddenly like this is now a goo latex drone hypno chat. Sorry, the council has spoken. You must become drone. The council can eat it. I have altered the terms of the deal. Pray I do not alter them further. I have not actually seen Star Wars. I think it already was, hon. You know, fair point. Fair enough. The question is, what do I do with that? What do I do with this energy? Also the gulag. Oh god, no wait, the gulag's such a good pun though. You simply activated the button. You're asking me? What the shit, man, I never thought I would get this fucking far. I was 100% certain when I started streaming that I was not gonna beat 500 followers. We're not free. Hypnotizes you into forgetting your trauma. I do love the posts where it's like, it's people being like, ooh, hypnotize me, daddy. And then they're like, all right, hypnotizes you into drinking water and fixing your sleep schedule and eating healthy. 40k Powerwash DLC. I've not played a single 40k anything, so. What's up, Crisp? Yeah, that's me. Is that just like dad hypnosis? Hypnotizes you into being a functioning person? Is this how we solve en masse the collective daddy issues of the furry community? Stark, you do the same thing that Kofu does with piss, embrace the kink as part of the stream. You know what? Fair. It's not like there aren't like there are definitely other hypno-themed streams out there. I'm aware of them in my like many hours of discovering like furry communities out there. Can we pull for Stark to do a latex streamer for a day? What the fuck? What do you mean? I mean, like, presumably, like, here's the thing. Like, I've mentioned that, like, I want to do more models. And, like, one of the things that, like, you know, like, I want to, like, take base models and modify them to make them Starky, but different species. And I presumably could also figure out how to do, like, different materials. Excuse me, why are you still... Okay, perfect. I think you're actually done? Question mark? The laser cannon is not. We're not free. Materials are so easy. I remember when 40k was a proper nerd hobby since Henry Cavill mentioned he was a fan, it became mainstream. I mean, okay. As someone who has had one of my hobbies to some degree ruined by becoming mainstream, i.e. Magic the Gathering. Buddy Holly, but the first word of every line is repeated. That's what we're dealing with in this moment. It's just what, and that. There's a thought, now it's gone. Welcome on Aquabar. I'm glad to have you sweeping. Uwu hypnotizes you as a sleeper agent to help take down capitalism. But yeah, no, like, because what's up, Chris?
Espresso and Warframe in the queue, not this.
I put espresso and warp. Yeah, okay, this is not your sin. This is Kasai's. This is Kasai's doing. So if you want to blame anyone, blame Kasai, because he deserves it. But also, like, that's just like a general truth, to be honest with you. Where was I at? Oh yeah, no, but like, because figuring out how to do like different materials, editing models to be Starky. I need to like, because I had a 3D modeler that I reached out to because I'm like, hey, this is something I would like to do for my stream. Could you make the accessories, specifically the goggles? The goggles already exist, but I need to get the lab coats. You're seeing how the mainstream ruined Magic the Gathering? Oh yeah, that's right. I can get back to that after this thought. But yeah, I need to get the lab coat and the pendant done. Should we latex TF Soiriel? Soiriel, you made that poll, so you must you are legally obliged to abide by the results of this poll because you yourself made it. There we go, self-bully poll for once. Yes, he must be punished. No, he is innocent. Who the fuck voted for him being innocent? But no, the, so to some degree, I do think that Magic the Gathering has been hurt extremely by its mainstream popularity because it suddenly went from being this thing that people, like, enjoyed to, like, a commodity. The commodification, to be fair, I guess that was, like, always built into the system because of shit like the reserve list, which I hate, personally. Speaking of trauma, that's a hell of a segue, Slow Panda. What's up? What's a cart? What's up? What's up, Chris?
Don't enjoy card Fortnite.
Not the biggest fan for myself, unfortunately. And you kid, but there literally is a Fortnite. There literally is a Fortnite like set like drop for Magic the Gathering. If yes wins, my second Sona is goo. But no, like, I guess I can't really blame. I guess the blame for that, like, because, you know, the commodification of cards was a thing that was built into the system, which I hate. But now that they're, like, selling it, like, as something not, like, you know, now that they've removed the ability for the game to function on its own by adding cards that are necessarily tied to existing IPs outside of, you know, Wizards of the Coast purview. I don't know. I just don't like it. Segue, how do you spell that? It's S-E-G-U-E. S-E-G... Fun fact, that's how you spell segue in terms of a conversation. If you want to spell specifically... Hold up a moment. If you want to spell specifically the, so the thing you ride is S-E-G-W-A. But the conversational shift concept is S-E-G-U-E. Also, fun fact, I went to college where the Segway was invented. The Segway was invented at Purdue University. The vehicle? Yes. Yo, chat, you could tie the poll, that would be funny. No, you must also become goo. How do I spell I've taken all your brain cells and eaten it? Coolio? Yeah. Also, it's the fucking, like, my college pops up in some of the weirdest goddamn areas. For example, there was a study done to find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. And yeah, that was also done at fucking Purdue. They made a fucking lick bot. They made a bot that licks you forever to do that, by the way. How do I spell the F word? I don't know what the F word is. What was the result? I can't remember. I just remember the horrifying visual of the lick bot. And that's kind of all I need to remember. But also, like, having gone to Purdue, that is also perfectly on theme for the kind of shit students there would do. Because no one had any will to live. So they're just like, you know what, fuck it, let's make the dumbest thing possible. I know the owner of the company that made the Segways died when he accidentally drove off a cliff. Foreplay, but use the robot that licks you forever as a toy. Oh my god. Also, can we talk about how so the second worst candy, Tootsie Rolls. Worst candy, Tootsie Pop. Because Tootsie Pop is Tootsie Pop is a good candy until it jump scares you with the shit. Little Baby's ice cream. Little Baby's, I agree with that. I think the fact that it is I enjoy lollipops and then like I'm like, oh, let me enjoy this lollipop for a bit, and then I get fucking like jump scared with the goddamn chocolate thing.
If you're cool, you are able to resist being stabbed, as you are too liquid to be hurt by being stabbed. Also, American Smarties are the worst candy.
You have never had a fucking like you. Here's the thing, American Smarties are whatever. Like that's its own candy. But, like, American Smarties at least function as a candy on its own. Tootsie Rolls are just, like, The only time I ever see Tootsie Rolls is like when I go to a restaurant and it's like they don't want to do mints, so they have fucking Tootsie Rolls instead. At least we agree candy corn is based. Candy corn is... I'm in the rare camp of candy corn is whatever. I won't actively seek it out, but if someone gave me a handful and was like, eat it, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's definitely not my favorite candy. I had a Tootsie Pop for the first time and I gagged when I hit the center. It was a fruit punch, then chocolate. But I like snorting them. Send them to the drone. No, absolutely not. What? Wait, what's the thought? Was the thought about gagging at eating Tootsie Pop? Because I agree. Every single time I've had a fucking Tootsie Pop, I get to the part where I can like start to taste the Tootsie Roll and I'm like, ew. And then I stop eating it. Today's lesson is about Powerwash. Welcome on in Steel Wolf. Good have you, Sweet Bean. Oh shit, that's right. I need to plan a thing for next Thursday, don't I? I need to figure out what I'm doing for the mass stream. You guys did that to me, by the way. Or no, that was towards Soriel. Listen, you gotta like enjoy candy however you can. If that means snorting it like crack cocaine, I won't behoove anyone. Like so long as your serotonin doesn't hurt other people, I can't fucking stop you from having serotonin these days. It's in fucking rare supply. I don't think we have candy corn over here. Too many E numbers. I mean, I'm assuming you probably have it. It's probably just like rare. Like you have to actively search it out. Did I tell you how my friend has been my friend had his dopamine receptors bad touched? How the okay, I need an explanation on what that means. But I do want to hear this story. Or every time I do that for every time I do that to Smarties, my nostrils get inflamed. Yeah, because you're not actually supposed to like you're not supposed to do that. Your nose is not meant to be putting powdered sugar into. I know, like, you know, it's like, oh, it's like right there next to the mouth, right? It's all going to the same place, but like, no. Your nose, it's going to the same place, but the path it's taking is critically important. But no, like, I can't imagine, here's the thing, like, candy corn is one of those, it's just, like, a mediocre. Like, it gets a lot of shit, but I don't actually think it's that bad. It's just, like, fun to poop on. I like saving the white Smarties for the pit. It's some crisp.
Fun fact, by watching Starkey morph, the nano machines are already inside you. You are a sleeper drone, it's too late. You are already a sleeper drone, you will one day become a drone as you kinda are already a drone.
My fucking that's just like the what if the microplastics are just like fucking like the microplastics were planned to be put in our bloodstream this entire time. They're gonna activate our sleeper state. Nah, it's probably just like slowly poisoning us from the inside. That's more reasonable, to be honest with you. We can dream and hope though. It is really funny. Because to some degree, I'm not necessarily, like, I don't necessarily put myself off as wholesome, but I tend to be, like, a lot more reserved about, like, kink talk around people that I don't necessarily, like, you know. Like, I wait for other people to bring up kink talk first before I'm like, oh yeah, let's fucking talk. Like, hey, I'm Ace, let's fucking go. Oh, sorry, yeah, we have a queue length. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and bump that up to 3, because we have had some instances recently where people have, you know, we've run out of length in the queue. But yeah, no, your nose was not meant for your nose was not meant for your nose was not meant for objects. There's fucking people who put like cloves of garlic in their nose, and I'm like, that's awful. That's really doing some bad shit to your fucking body. All right, I'm gonna bump it up to probably 4 songs per person. Your nose was meant for anything but was not meant for anything but oxygen. It's like, it's not even, to be honest with you, really meant for oxygen either. It's like kind of only does that barely. If you've ever been sick, you know that sometimes it feels like your nose is just like It's like, why do I have this damn thing? So he's on a med because he quit benzos cold turkey after being on it way too long and almost dying. He also smokes weed. He sampled an energy drink, and he can tell how other drugs touch his dopamine, but this energy drink really messed with his dopamine receptors. I don't really fuck around with energy drinks. I will have the occasional Celsius nowadays, because I tried it, and it actually worked out quite well. In my days in college, there were times where it's like, okay, well, you know, you might not want to fucking have the energy drink, but you goddamn need it. And that was when I was drinking, like, to be fair, I still do drink like a liter of coffee a day. Which, like, it doesn't sound like that bad until you realize that that's like cold brew concentrate. That's like pure caffeine. Welcome on to Shadow. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. I feel right now I'm recovering from a cold and it won't stop bleeding. Oh my... Noses are, like, you know... I guess to be fair, it's like a thankless task being a nose. Mom, can I have pizza money? You know what? Sure. Welcome on in, Finchy. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we shout for Finchy? How you doing, you Sweet Bean? I could just give you the pizza machine. The machine that makes arbitrarily large numbers of pizza. That I use for... reasons. Yes. Well, okay, you know, I can't even fucking, like, my love for bellies is well known at this point. I bought the boomstick and the cannons. Hell yeah. Oh my god, Freddy Fazbear. I have no idea what that fucking video even is. I've just absorbed it through cultural osmosis. Does Starkey Morph give off mommy vibes or daddy vibes? I feel like this one is like, this is like 100% pull, right? I've been playing Warframe way too much. Fair enough. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of, like, you know, hyper fixating on your interest game. But yeah, no, how you doing, Finchy? Hopefully you're doing all right over there. Starkey spoke too soon. Chat. You're doing this just to piss me off, aren't you? Non-binary vibe. It is to some degree funny. I consider myself agender. I don't really, like, I don't factor the concept of gender into anything I do. I'm like, because I'm like, I like baking. I'm going to bake. You know, I like playing video games. I'm gonna play video games. The concept of, like, is this acceptable for someone of my gender to do never factors into it. I do like baking, even though I'm fucking terrible at it. I've got a blueprint that requires me to complete the map, so I'm sad about that. Oh no. Starkey chat reflects a streamer. Goblins for the goblin board. You know what? Fair point. I like baking. I'm gonna burn my house down is more my mentality. Here's the thing. My baking either turns out, like, pretty alright or, like, fucking nightmarish. I can never get a good bake. I keep making fucking, like, monstrosities, like the lasagna cookie.
To cook Kasai cake, so we can poison it in woo.
No, we're not poisoning anyone. I barely scratched half the map's hotel. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I blew up the microwave. The what cookie? Okay, so I think I just need to find a better cookie recipe. I like Joshua Weissman's cookbook, but I think his cookie recipe is a little bit suspect. So his recipe calls for the idea that, like, you're supposed to, like, you know, in classic cookie style, you're supposed to, like, slightly underbake it. Which isn't a problem, except that, like, I didn't wait for them to cool properly on their own. So I put them above my oven, and then, like, while they were solid but not cold, they weren't, like, chilled or anything, I just, like, stacked them on top of each other in, like, a Tupperware container. And then when I opened the Tupperware container and tried to pull one out, fucking chunk, like, it's just a chunk of cookie lasagna. It was fucking layers of cookie. They've merged into one mass. And it was good. It's not a cookie, though. Remember that supplements are heavily unregulated and can mess you up? Yeah, be very careful with supplements. Please talk to your doctor. before doing anything to change your diet, because diet can mess you up real bad. I have a hard time describing how I feel properly about Joshua Weissman. I need to like get a better idea as well. He's very enigmatic for me. Chocolate gâteau is basically chocolate lasagna. Said a friend had an issue where he felt the need to constantly move and couldn't sleep for at least 3 days. The energy drink had the text "Never Stop Moving" written on it. His energy drink was designed to mess up my friend specifically. So give me about 7 weeks, I'll have a new cosmetic. Excellent. Okay, no, but you've reminded me of a story now from one of my friends back when I used to live like in the middle of, you know, like buttfuck nowhere, like, you know, deeply rural Indiana. He was in high school and he had heart medication that he had to take. And there was at the time a somewhat unregulated energy drink called Redline, which had more than the recommended daily intake of caffeine in a bottle by 2 times. You're supposed to drink half of the fucking bottle. It was like a pre-workout. He took his heart meds with that, the entire bottle, and had to go to the hospital. Because he entered AFib immediately. And he has the place where you only turn one-way racetrack. Don't even that's like this weekend, if memory serves. Actually, that might have been last weekend. Did he live? Oh, he lived. He lived. But definitely one of those stories where, like, my mom, who was a nurse, heard it and was like, "God damn it, Fitz, you fucking idiot." His heart to the side. Basically, like, he was like 16 or 17 at the time. He fucked himself up real bad. And like I had a heart scare like a couple years back, so like I can confirm that shit is scary. It is not a fun experience to like suddenly be like, why is my heart not doing the thing that it's literally tasked, like its sole existence is to continue to do this one thing. Why is it not doing it right? But no. Fair as like I'm pretty sure after that incident, I don't know if it was because of him, but I believe that like the company that made that had to like completely change the formula for that energy drink. My friend is the kind of guy where the doctors show them off to the med students, but students take notes medically. It's like, yeah, here's like a fascinating example of like, you know, the weird shit that the human body does that we just can't explain. And like your friend is just there in the corner. Heart rate 300, somehow hasn't like passed out. It's like, oh, you. They pull up the fucking EKG sheet and it's just they pull up the EKG and it's just a black sheet. It's just ink everywhere. But no, that's because like like I said, I don't fuck around with energy drinks too much. I actually did have somewhat of like I think I realized that like because I tried to change my diet. There was news coming out of, you know, the area around here that like they were relaxing the rules on like milk safety standards. So I was like, well, fuck, now I have to give up milk. And I did do that. And then I realized, oh wait, I don't get enough calcium in my diet, and you know, by going out into the sunlight to make up for the fact that I don't drink any milk. And then like my fucking I got like heart spasms because of like a lack of calcium, which is wild. Welcome on in, Crimson Hero. I'm glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Sounds like me when I'm somehow conscious of really high blood sugar. It's like actually fascinating the degree to which the human body can function while like having absolutely no right to. It's like fucking like humans are simultaneously like incredibly fragile and incredibly resilient. It's like there was a guy who this was like a famous medical story to come out of this. He had like his brain just like didn't form properly, and he had like literally like 50% gray matter in his skull, like way less than like he should have had. And he was just walking around and functioning, and doctors were like, dude, how? You literally do not have The way your mind, your like physical brain is set up, completely defies all of our modern medicine understanding. I remember the weirdest thing I've ever seen is one of my friends stifled a sneeze and inflated one of his eyes. Yeah, really, like, don't do that. You can actually have like a seizure from trying to stifle a sneeze. Just like sneeze into your elbow. Like that's what you're supposed to do. Also, like, the more you stifle your sneezes, the more like gunk builds up. Have you got only half a brain? Yes. Cause like that stuff, like, you know, literally, like, you can go from being like perfectly healthy normal adult to like holding your nose closed while you sneeze and just die instantly, because like the pressure in your brain spikes in a way that just fucking instantly kills you. It's not worth it. To be fair, people do that kind of stuff intentionally. Like, what was the fucking, there was like a, you know, I hate kind of growing up in the middle of America, because I don't know what things were lies. I definitely know, people use, like, solvent cans, so, like, pressurized nitrogen to get high. You know, the thing they told us was that, like, every time you do that, there's a chance it just kills you. And I don't know if that's, I want to say that one was, like, that one's actually based off of scientific evidence. I know you can rupture your throat stifling sneezes. Yeah, like, you can fuck yourself up real. Your body is trying to sneeze for a reason. Do not fight it. Sometimes when you're having a heart attack, it feels like you need to poop, and the strain of trying to poop can kill you. I actually, that suddenly explains why it's such a frequent thing. Like, statistically speaking, fun fact, statistically speaking, the single most likely place you are to die in your house is on your toilet. People did like a meta-analysis of like you know, like doctoral reports from like emergency medical people, like, you know, emergency medical techs, and we're like, yeah, you're much more likely to die on your toilet than anywhere else in your house. That's called doing an Elvis. Elvis is definitely, I think, the most famous person for having a heart attack and dying on the toilet. Even though I can't remember if that one was like, that's pop culture or not. Even my mom was questioning how I was still conscious at the time with the blood sugar level. I looked at her wondering what's wrong. What was your blood sugar level at? Also, are you by chance like a type 1 diabetic? I should mention, I am by no means classically medically trained. Everything I know, 512? What the fuck? For context, like 140, I believe, is considered relatively high. Like, if you're above, like, if you're like anywhere close to 200, you're supposed to take like insulin, right? Got diagnosed diabetic at 18, Chief. Yeah, that'll do it, Dr. Starkey. I mean, honestly, if it wouldn't make my life absolutely miserable, I actually would love to go back to college and get like a doctorate and like in like mathematics or like engineering. Like, the idea of like learning and progressing my like ability and understanding is like genuinely fascinating, but the world just is not conducive to it. Moral of the story: if your heart feels weird, do not poop. That does seem like a good moral. Also, fun fact, heart attacks actually have different symptoms between women and men. I believe, so, I can't remember what it is, but there are a couple of symptoms that are exclusive to men having heart attacks. Which is why, like, heart attacks in women are actually underreported. One of the many things that are massively underreported in women, like ADHD. It's so fucking funny, too. Is it fun facts with Starkey today? I don't know if you would call this fun. We're talking about like all of the awful shit the human body does. I guess it's fun. So my mom is like one of the most ADHD people of all time. Since I was a kid, one of her frequent refrains I heard her say was, "Yeah, I drink like a liter, like a 2 liter of Mountain Dew every day while I'm at work because it helps me get focused." It's fact time with it's fact. Yeah, it's fact. It's not fun fact time. It's just fact time. I have the curse of eternally itchy nose. Oh no. But no. My mom called me recently and she was like, "Hey Starkey, how long have you known I've had ADHD?" And I'm like, "Mom, I didn't even know I officially had an ADHD diagnosis by 8. I'm But like as soon as I learned like what the symptoms were for ADHD, I just knew, like, you know, like she got passed over because like with girls, ADHD manifests a lot differently. Because it's not like, you know, they're not like super hyperactive. They just like are very quietly not doing what they're supposed to. Because like, you know, the traditional gender roles and child rearing and all that. But no. 2 liters of Mountain Dew to get focused. That's something that something like from RFK. No, here's the thing. She recognizes that that's not good. Like, you know, she's recognizes that's a bad thing. But she also is a nurse who worked in ER for like a decade. And like to this day, she has a lot of health complications from doing that. The Mountain Dew thing was definitely not the least, like that was not the most unhealthy behavior that she did from being a nurse. Because like when you're in the ER, your health comes very secondary to the patients. Because like if you're doing like, you know, if you're doing like a couple of hours of CPR, that's really bad for your body. But the alternative is letting someone die. But in fact, there are gases you can breathe in that you'll suffocate on without ever realizing, because your brain detects what you breathe out to infer what you breathe in. Yeah, that's the idea behind the nitrogen asphyxiation chambers, actually. The idea is that like the human body doesn't really like the human body panics when it can't get rid of CO2, but not when it like it, you know, it doesn't necessarily know that it's getting an oxygen. So, you know, the idea is like if you put someone in a chamber with nitrogen and then asphyxiate them, their brain doesn't give them the warning to be like, hey, you're not getting oxygen. Sorry, I'm back to CPR. I'm discussing all sorts of horrifying medical facts. But, you know, like your brain never sends a signal like, hey, you're suffocating, because, you know, your brain is like, oh, I'm able to get rid of the carbon dioxide, so it's fine. And so like your brain just interprets the lack of oxygen as being, you know, it's like sleepiness. Admittedly, like, you know, capital punishment and all that's definitely not, I'm by no means a proponent of that. Although increasingly I feel like it's something that should be reserved for there are a certain subset of people who have proven that they consider themselves to be above the law, and for whomst traditional punishments don't seem to do anything. Usually the extremely wealthy who commit heinous acts. I wouldn't necessarily be amiss to say that maybe they deserve, you know, an instant clarifying of mortality. You know, still guillotine, but like more, you know, more gentle. I made my first nitro cold brew today and it was pretty good. I actually hate nitro cold brew. What's up, Chris?
All you can eat buffets should not be confused.
Remember, a morgue and all-you-can-eat buffets should not be confused. They really shouldn't. Honey, my brain don't work. I got 2 brain cells. One is for walking, the other is for Welcome on in, Delos. But have you, sweet bean. Can you shout out for Delos? When you are in ER, your health very much comes secondary to the patients, unless you're at the Go Sport Memorial Hospital. What is the is it Gosport? That might be an esoteric reference. I think I might need you to explain. Send you a second cute cat. It's gonna be cursed, isn't it? There's no way you send me 2 wholesome things in a row. Or it's like, that sounds like gambler's fallacy, but it's more just like knowing, sorry. Okay, never mind, I was wrong. Because this is a second cute cat. I don't know, maybe I got like a bad batch of nitro. Also, Kiwi. Look at the Kiwi. Who is she? Who is she? But no, I wonder if I got like a bad batch of like nitro cold brew, because like when I had it, it was just like weirdly flowery. Like it tasted floral, and I didn't like that. Like I don't have to describe it. It's like there's this. It's a weird like kind of It's like a weird kind of like a almost like a processed taste to it that I did not like at all. Gosport Memorial Hospital was where the patients and nurses killed hundreds of patients by deliberately prescribing lethal amounts of painkillers for the patients. Is it? Oh, is this like the Dr. Kevorkian situation where like it was a bunch of people who were like actually like wanting, like they were terminally ill and just wanted the suffering to end, so they found someone who like, you know, assisted suicide. Welcome on in, Dutch. Got a new sweet bean. Can I shop for Dutch Hund? Mine was from a can. You tilt a little and open at the same time. We enjoy the fighting though. They'd at least put on these white t-shirts and tell Starkey to give you a spritz.